So remember, we was watching all these videos that was shot by Solomon Sir Jones, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in these videos, we began to notice on all of these people, black Negroes, and all over Oklahoma, we began to notice oil rigs in their yards, right?
Mm-hmm. In their
So,
backyards.
right. So, my mind, I'm like, these motherfuckers already been doing this shit. Ain't nobody teach
Mm-hmm.
them that. Like, they
No,
know this shit.
they knew they had oil. They've been doing this. So it makes the story of Sarah Rector the way they started off, like, yeah, enslaved. These were the black descendants of the Muskogee Creek Indians. No, y'all. We gotta start dismantling some of the bullshit and call it bullshit when you hear it. Because what we saw
Right.
didn't say shit, didn't look like shit about these folk ain't know that they had oil on their land.
Absolutely. Well, I confirmed my suspicion, right? Have you ever heard of, uh, there you go.
I'm back.
Have
I'm
you
back. I'm back.
have you ever heard of the term Creekology?
Yes, I have.
Do you know what that means?
No, I don't. I've heard it, but I don't know exactly what it means.
Okay. So, like I said, when we was watching those videos, I'm like, girl, they already knew what the hell going on. So I run
Hmm.
across this term, Creekology, which means Creekology is a petroleum prospecting method.
Mm.
The Creeks had already perfected this motherfucking method. They knew what they were doing. So
Mm.
you can't tell me no pale skins just come in out of nowhere teaching them they own shit.
Hmm.
They learn, and it's still called Creekology to this day. Z.
Mm.
They just revive. It's called New Creekology, baby. Uh, they just throw they European shit on there, or whatever. But yes, it's called Creekology. Okay, petroleum prospecting method, and like I
Wow.
suspected, they had already been doing this. So again, how did these white folks come in and teach these Negroes how to prospect for petroleum?
They didn't.
So is this story a lie?
Sounds like it. If it quack like a duck and walk like a duck, shit, it's a fucking duck.
Because we were looking at these videos, right? Like I said, the first thing we noticed were these people had oil rigs on their goddamn land. All of them. Okay,
Everybody.
they build their own rigs. They were operating their own rigs, and this isn't all over Oklahoma at the same time. So you mean to tell me this little girl and her father didn't know any Negroes in Oklahoma who knew how to do this creekology?
When they probably their neighbors up miles away were already doing the same thing. So how are you trying to tell me that this man wasn't doing this on his daughter's land and he had every right to do so? And I just feel like you said, it was a setup and they moved in on her because they found them as a target because Standard Oil,
Just
like we
hush.
said, belongs to Rockefeller. And he began to do business with this man on his daughter's land. I just,
Was it that they were teaching him?
Hmm. Let's go. Were they?
I think they were teaching this man some things, and he went and undercut they ass because also I know that John D. Rockefeller came to Sarah Rector to to borrow money to start the Standard Oil Company.
Hmm. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. It makes a lot of sense to me because the story that they're telling makes no sense when you use this child as exactly what they as a poster child. This whole situation as a poster child situation to say this is how all of this came
Um,
about because
I'm
the
glad you said
oil
that, Z,
just from
because
that.
I'm gonna let you
No, go
go,
ahead.
but I want you to. I'm glad you said that because I got my slide. I got this question up here, and I'm gonna let you
Hmm.
get into it. The question is, why did they choose Sarah Rector?
Absolutely.
Why was
Why?
her story so important when we had all of these little kids going through the same thing who had oil on their land? And not to mention all of the adults that we were seeing that had
Yeah.
oil on their lands all
Yeah.
over Oklahoma who were actually very wealthy. Why did they choose Sarah Rector? I'm gonna let you go ahead and go
But that's the thing. Why was she the poster child?